If you're skinny fat and really want to make a change, then you're probably confused because there's so much conflicting advice out there and you end up not knowing whether to bulk, cut, or even recomp. You don't know how to train to make the best progress possible, and you ultimately end up failing anyway because you don't know the quickest and easiest strategy to fix skinny fat once and for all. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact blueprint I use to solve skinny fat myself without the confusion and time it will take you to weed through all the random information that's out there online. So first of all, do we bulk or cut? If you're confused about what direction you need to go in, then you need to identify your body fat percentage. If you're over 15% body fat, then you need to cut. And if you're under 15% body fat, then you need to bulk. It's literally as simple as that. So to do this, we just take a picture of your physique under normal lighting, and then you're just going to compare yourself to the examples that I'm going to show on screen of different body fat percentages, or you can simply just ask ChatGPT and it will tell you. But before we do anything, we need to set the goal. So now we know what direction to go in, we now need to create a clear roadmap and time frame of which it's going to take us to complete our goal. Therefore, we need to reverse engineer the goal. So if your goal is to cut, then I've actually linked a time to six pack calculator down below, and you're going to use this to determine how long it's going to take you to mini cut and then to bulk back up again. Once you've got this clear time frame in place, this allows you to stay motivated because you know you've only got an X number of weeks before you get to the goal that you want, and it will help you just stay on track because you know that you're only sacrificing, I guess, freedom for a short period of time. So first of all, if you've identified that you need to cut first before you go into a bulk, we shouldn't really be cutting at a faster rate than 2 pounds a week, but we also shouldn't be cutting at a slower rate. And we call this a mini cut because it's basically a fast rate of weight loss in a quick amount of time. So you should probably cut around 2 pounds a week for 4 to 6 weeks. To do this, you just calculate your maintenance calories and you'll subtract about 750 to 1,000 calories off of it. Just eat that every day until you get to your desired body weight, which you should have figured out using the time to six pack calculator that I've linked below. Which then leads me to bulking. If you need to bulk, or after your mini cut, you're going to need to bulk, then you need to do this at a slower rate of gain. Do not do this at 2 pounds a week. I've actually done this and I've ended up looking like the Michelin Man. I just looked awful. A lot of people make this mistake. Please don't do it. You need to really take the bulk slow. And I mean really take the bulk slow, because otherwise you're going to get too fat and you're going to have to cut again, and you're just going to waste so much time. Because think about it, if you need to cut, then you're going to have to cut for 6 weeks. So you've just wasted 6 weeks there, which you could be bulking and gaining muscle, which your main problem is you're skinny fat because you're under muscled. You need to gain muscle. So we need to be in that bulking phase for as long as we can. And we do this by only gaining about 0.25 to 0.5 pounds a week. Similar to cutting, you need to calculate your maintenance calories and then only add 150 to 250 calories on top of this. Obviously weigh yourself every day and assess your sort of average weigh-ins across 2 weeks, and that's going to allow you to see what your rate of progress is going to be like. And if you're only gaining about 0.5 pounds a week, then you're probably where you need to be. So now we've got our clear roadmap in place. Using the calculator, you should have been able to figure out how long it's going to take you to mini cut, and then how long you need to bulk, then mini cut, then bulk again. We've got these clear phases outlined. We now need to go on to the actual technical parts of the training, the diet, and the recovery. Training is extremely important, but not the parts that you think. The things that don't matter too much are training split, the amount of volume you're doing, or think of any random exercises. They don't matter. All that matters is that you're training hard, as in you're training to muscular failure. You're training the muscle group at least 2 times a week, and you're recovering for your next session, and you're continuously making progress. That's literally all that matters. And like I said, I want to reiterate that training to failure is the most important thing that you can do. You literally need to make it, like you need to make your body feel like it's going to die. That's how you need to train. Obviously, you don't do this by doing 1,000,000 sets. You obviously just keep to your normal sets that you do. Let's say you do 3 sets of 12, but rather than aiming for 12 reps, you just aim until you can't do any more reps. And then let's say once you get to 12, that's when you up the weight. A lot of people just train to 12 reps and then they get 3 sets of 12 at one weight and they go up in weight. This isn't how you should train. You should just train to the point where you can't lift the weight anymore. It doesn't really matter what training split you do. I used to get confused in this. I now do push pull every single day. Is it optimal? No. Do I enjoy training like it? Yes. Have I made progress? Yes. That's all that matters at the end of the day. If you want to do full body every other day, if you want to do push pull legs, if you want to do upper lower, it literally doesn't matter. Just pick a training split, stick to it, and then just train really hard every set that you do. It's as simple as that. So now we've got training out the way, we need to look at dieting. The main thing with dieting is that your macronutrient split matters the most. So you've got your calories, and then within your calories, it's split up between 3 different macronutrients, which is protein, carbs, and fat. Protein's important because it allows you to retain muscle and grow muscle. Carbs are important because it fuels gym performance, which if you have better gym performance, you can train harder. If you train harder, you're going to gain more muscle, which is what you need to fix skinny fat. And eating healthy fats is important because it allows you to have optimal hormone levels, which means your testosterone is in check and all other areas like that, which allows your body to function at the optimal levels, which then means that you can grow muscle the best, basically. The amount of macronutrients that you should be eating in your diet is 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein, 0.3 grams per pound of body weight in fat, and then just fill in the rest of your caloric intake with carbs. It's literally as simple as that. A lot of people will try and make these random philosophies like keto and carnivore diet and say that there's these magical diets, but it's not. Just split your macros up like that, and that's the most optimal for muscle growth and retention. Which means that if you're going to add or subtract food, so let's say you're going into a cut, then you would just subtract it from the carbs, and you'd probably eat a little bit more protein to keep you fuller. If you're going into a bulk, you would just add more carbs. So if you're going to add it, like let's say you add 200 calories because your weight's stalled and you want to keep gaining weight in the bulk, then you would just do so by just adding more carbs into your diet. Which then leads us on to the actual technical parts of bulking and cutting. I'll first cover bulking, which is basically if you're bulking up, then you probably want to favor foods that are easy to eat. I sometimes struggle with my appetite when I'm bulking, so I need to favor foods such as cereal, rice, bagels. They're quite calorie dense, they digest well, and they're just easy to eat because they taste good. If your weight stalls for a week, do not rush to increase your calories, because this is the mistake I made. You just need to take your time. If it stalls for 2 or 3 weeks, then you up your calories. The main determinant of whether you increase your calories or not should be your gym performance. If your weight stalls, keep your calories the same. Then if your gym performance stalls, then you increase your calories, because then you know that your body's got used to the calories that you're on and you need to give it more fuel for the performance, basically. And like I said before, I wouldn't worry too much about how long you're bulking for and rushing to increase your calories, because we just want to prolong the bulk for as long as we can. If you give your body the right environment to grow, then you just want to keep it this way for as long as you can to ensure that we can grow the most amount of muscle in the quickest amount of time. Then if you're cutting, you should just do the opposite. You need to optimize for high volume, low calorie foods. So you can just go on TikTok and just type in high volume full day of eating. You can find it on YouTube. You can find any other YouTuber that will do the same thing. Basically, you're just optimizing for foods that are going to sit in your stomach, such as like potatoes, such as like oats, such as chicken. They're low calorie. They're going to fill you up and you're going to stay satiated for most of the day. Some hunger is fine, but if you start to feel really hungry on your cut, then you probably want to start to alter those macronutrients. So like I said before, it was 1 gram per pound of body weight for protein, 0.3 grams per pound of body weight for fat, and then just fill the rest in with carbs. You might want to go slightly higher in fat and then slightly higher in protein, because they're going to take longer to digest in your stomach, which means that you're going to stay fuller for longer. You can also add in a fiber goal, because we know that fiber, again, takes a while to digest. It slows down digestion, meaning again that you're going to stay fuller for longer. Cutting should not take too long anyway, because we're just trying to get in and get out, because like I said, the main reason that you're skinny fat is because you're under muscled. So if we can just sort of get in and get out with the cut and then get into the bulking phase, that's what we're aiming for anyway. Which then takes me on to my last underutilized tool of solving skinny fat, which is recovery, and in specifically sleep. If you want to supercharge your training performance and overall well-being, then you just need to sleep more. I know a lot of you out there just don't even care about sleep. You just sleep when you're dead. You just get 5 hours a night and you try and live off of energy drinks. This is just not a good idea. You should be aiming for about 8 hours of sleep a night. Honestly, it makes such a big difference. Your energy, your motivation, your overall well-being. It actually decreases your impulsivity, which basically means that you're going to stay on the plan and you're going to stay consistent for a long period of time, which is what you need to fix skinny fat. It's not a quick fix. And you basically just do this by getting off your phone an hour before sleep, get sunlight in your eyes in the morning, and then just going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time every single day. It's literally just as simple as that for fixing your sleep. Do not bother with random supplements. Obviously, you can take the proven ones such as like creatine, omega-3s, like a multivitamin, but cold showers, sauna, they're not going to supercharge your progress if, one, your training's not in check, your diet's not in check, and you're not sleeping well. Those are the 3 massive pillars that are going to make an absolute massive difference when it comes to fixing skinny fat. And then that's literally it. You just do this on repeat. You train hard using the same split. You get 8 hours of sleep a night, and then you just bulk until you hit a certain body fat percentage, then you mini cut, then you bulk until you hit a certain body fat percentage, then you mini cut, and you just do this on repeat until you've eventually solved skinny fat in the like 40, 50 weeks or whatever it takes you to do it. Again, I've linked in the description the time to six pack calculator, which will allow you to estimate the rough time frame it's going to take you to get to your goal physique. Fixing skinny fat is not quick, but it can be simple and a lot quicker knowing what I've just told you. If you click the video, I don't know what side it's going to be on, but it's basically going to tell you what mistakes I made when solving skinny fat and how you can best avoid them, what to do instead, and this should allow you to speed up the process and make the best progress possible in the quickest amount of time.